My dog accidentally trained me to wake up at 2:43 a.m. every night. That habit is the only reason I'm still alive, because that's when I caught my husband poisoning me. When Coda was a puppy, he had a thimble-sized bladder. For months, he would nudge my side of the bed and whine almost exactly at 2:43 a.m. I'd get up, let him into the yard, wait in the dark kitchen, then we'd go back to sleep. Eventually, I didn't even need his whine. My body woke up on its own. My husband, Ben, always slept through it. In the morning, he'd mumble, "You're such a light sleeper. Lucky dog." This routine lasted 3 years. Then one night, I woke at 2:43 and Coda wasn't beside the bed. A cold prickle ran through me. I went downstairs and found him frozen in the doorway to the kitchen, staring at Ben. Ben had his back to us, crushing something with a spoon and stirring it into a glass of water. "Ben?" I whispered. He jumped. "You scared me," he said, clamping a hand over the glass. "Just getting water and some antacid. Go back to bed." Coda didn't move. His tail was low, ears back, eyes fixed on Ben. Not scared, alert. The hair on my neck stood up. The next night, my internal clock woke me again. No, Coda. I crept to the top of the stairs and watched from the shadows. Same scene. Ben at the counter, crushing tablets, scraping powder into a glass. This time, instead of drinking it, he pulled out the big filtered water pitcher I always drank from, poured the mixture in, swirled it, and put it back in the fridge. That pitcher was my water. I refilled it every night. My mouth went dry. For months, I'd been sick, dizzy, nauseated, exhausted. My doctor had run tests, found nothing, and suggested stress. Ben had played the perfect husband, bringing me breakfast, reminding me to drink lots of water. The next morning, instead of pouring from the pitcher, I quietly dumped it down the sink and refilled it with fresh water while he was in the shower. By midday, I felt better than I had in weeks. I needed proof. That night, I hid my phone on a shelf by the counter, camera facing the sink, and hit record. At 2:43, Coda patted down the hall. I followed in socks. From the doorway, I saw Ben crush tablets from my old sleep aid prescription, pills I'd stopped taking months ago, scrape the powder into a glass, then pour it into the water pitcher. Then he reached behind the coffee maker, pulled out a tiny clear vial, and added a few drops. When he left, I grabbed the vial with a towel, snapped a photo, and hid it in my car. The next day, I went straight to my doctor. "I think someone's poisoning me," I said. "Test for everything." My blood work came back with zolpidem and ethylene glycol, sleeping pills, and antifreeze. My doctor's face changed. "This isn't accidental," she said. "We need to call the police." Suddenly, the pattern made sense. The illness that kept dragging on. The life insurance policy Ben had convinced me to increase 6 months earlier. His sudden obsession with keeping our finances and my medications organized. The police took my statement, the video, and the vial. Lab tests confirmed antifreeze in both the vial and the water pitcher. A warrant for our house turned up more vials hidden in Ben's toolbox, plus browser searches on his laptop. Signs of antifreeze poisoning, undetectable poisons, how long before life insurance pays out. He'd been slowly increasing the dose so my death would look like a drawn-out illness. They arrested him that evening. Coda sat at my feet while officers led Ben out in handcuffs. He didn't bark. He just watched, ears pinned back, the same way he'd watched Ben those nights at 2:43. People keep saying how lucky I am that we caught it in time. I know it wasn't luck. It was a dog who knew something in our house smelled wrong, and a body clock he accidentally installed in me. These days, I still wake up around 2:43. I go downstairs, scratch Coda behind the ears, pour myself a glass of water that I filled, and sit for a minute in the quiet, just because I can. If your pet suddenly started acting strange around someone you trust, would you pay attention or shrug it off as them just being weird?